Yeah, so welcome back to the grind. Now for something a little bit different, or maybe completely different. So, I think you knew that I went and got one of these Frontier 23-inch sawmill things. So look at all the sawdust, look at the boards. Spent the last couple of days putting it all together, getting it going, and we have success, and it actually cuts as advertised, and it makes pretty nice boards. Like, it makes really nice boards. This is a piece of a pine tree that was blown down in Fiona, and it's just nice smooth cut, and 3/4 inch. I cut the first bunch I did here were just a bunch of 3/4 inch boards, and they look like they're about 6 inches, but we didn't measure the width of them. We just wanted to cut it to see how they'd cut at 1 inch or 3/4 inch boards. Turns out cuts pretty nice. And so if you stick around, you'll see like I'll give you a little bit more of an intro when Kevin was here, but if you stick around, you'll see everything we did and everything, putting it together and getting it ready. And so yesterday morning it was in a box. Now today it's cutting lumber. That's pretty damn quick if you ask me. Anyhow, stick around, hope you like it, and please come back for more. Yeah, here we are, Kevin and I. This is Kevin over here. Hello, say hello. Hello, hello to the camera. And we went halves on this, went halves of this sawmill. Now today we got it started up and running, but right away we seized the motor, put a bunch of WD-40s down the cylinder, and it seemed to come back to life all right. Don't know how that happened, but I guess it just, things like that happen sometimes. Then you saw and then if you stick around, I put it all, it came out of the box. There was a big old box that was hanging around over there, and it came out of the box, and now it's a sawmill, and it makes pretty nice boards. Look at that. They're all 3/4 inch, I think, 1 inch boards or something like that. 3/4. These are 3/4 inch, eh?
3/4 on the measurement.
Yeah. So that's quite cool. 3/4 inch boards, and those are pine. That's nice, knotty pine, right?
Yeah.
That's nice stuff. Huh.
Yeah, the nuts look bigger on the tree than they look on the board.
Yeah. There's one pine bug right here. Came out of it. Right? No, that's just a bit of bark. So, next thing we'll do, we'll cut up some stickles, and we'll start laying them out in a good spot. I got lots of pine logs here to do. Won't do them all in one day. But that's right on. Cool. So how do you like that? So if you want to see more of this, let me know, and we'll do more. Bye for now. Yeah, here's something different. Time to get this thing put together. It's a Frontier sawmill. So I gotta cut off all the plastic, open up the case, and let's see what's inside here. Yeah, it's mostly held together with saran wrap. And here's a few things in here that, easy to recognize. This is the for the blade to get lubricated with, right? This part here would be the control arm, right? We'll just see where that goes later. Then all these the crate is very well constructed, okay? Amazing how everything's just held together for shipping. And all the weight's over here. It must have been leaning over here. This is the scale for be able to tell what size of lumber you're cutting. Hey, right there, out of the way. And then there's bigger bits. So and there's a whole bucket full of bolts here. That's lots and lots of bolts. That bolts must hold the whole thing together.
that right there. And hopefully there's an instruction book here somewhere. I haven't thrown it out. We'll see. Must be one somewhere here in this. Maybe it's in that first box that I pulled out of there. Who knows? This box here, I thought it was just a blade, and maybe the instructions are in there too. I'll look inside and see. Anyway, I'll bring you up to date as I get up to date. Looks like lots of bits. Okay. Yeah, there you go. That's all the pieces are out around here. Left and right winch and plate, something or other, winch, shaft. This is cross bunk number 1, cross bunk number 3, cross bunk number vertical post number 4. So cross bunk number 1. I thought I saw one of those already. Oh well. So now I'll just carry on with the. I did find the book. The book was way down here somewhere, but here it is now, and I'll see if I can't follow some instructions to put it together here. Hopefully the book for the Frontiers here, that just says Briggs and Stratton. We'll see. Yeah, I found the book. Looks like it's got lots of reading there. It was in here with other little bits that are all packed in together with the motor. So I'll get that unstrapped there, and garbage the garbage stuff. Good thing it's garbage day today, because there's lots of garbage today. Okay, I'll carry on. Yeah, there it is. That's everything's out of the shipping container. There's some reasonably good steel there. I'll keep that around, cut it up for use. Anyhow, the motor and saw assembly all comes as like all together, so I don't have to worry about how to make that go together. And the rest of it is between here and here, and it says to assemble it on a level surface. So there you go, level surface right there. We'll get that assembled. Start assembling it and see where it goes from there. That's all the little pieces of wood that were around the edges of it. Don't know what to do with them for sure, but we'll see. Yeah, so there's that first part done. Just all these bolts everywhere. It's like a railway line, but they're finger tight. Everything's finger tight. Then you see these holes that are there on every one of them. Make sure they point that way, right? And these two holes, they all point the same way. Otherwise, you'll be disappointed, because you got to turn them all around again. Anyway, which I've done. So if you ever had a Meccano set when you were a kid, this is just a bit bigger than that. Same idea. And there, it wasn't supposed to rain today, I thought. Well, maybe it was supposed to rain, because it's definitely raining. Oh yeah, he said localized heavy showers. Well, I guess this is local, and it's a pretty heavy shower. Anyway, I'll carry on. Yeah, it's coming along. So it's just a bunch of bolts and nuts. So I learned all sorts of new terms though. This is a dog bar, and this is the dog bar receiver, and that's another bar. Interesting. That's for holding the log in tight when you get it on into place. And then now I'll just keep on following the instructions. I'll get you caught up as I go along. I'm into page number 55 of Forever, so got a ways to go yet. Now it's time for lining it up. So what are a machinist's machinist favorite tools? Sledgehammer and a micrometer, right? That's what it works at. So I've got a fishing line here. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? There's a fishing line. Yeah, it starts here. It goes over that bolt there, and then it runs right. See where my finger is there? So to make it, it goes from here to the other end, way up there. And so now, to make the rail straight this way, that way, this way, that way, you just loosen these bolts here, and then line it up so that it's on all right. Now it's got to go that way a tiny bit. So, and that's about right there. So that's good. Now I'll just see if I've ruined this side. No, this side's still good. See it right here? I don't know if you can see that fishing line there. Yeah, right underneath my finger there, or on top of my finger. And so it goes right along the edge of that. So that side's straight. This side's straight as far as that goes. So now, go the right way. Tighten up all this. Isn't that nice and quiet, eh? Now, the length that it should be above is about that much. So it looks like it's a little bit low here. But I'll just go up in and check here first at this end and make sure I got the right measurement on here. Turn on the machine. I've got it zeroed at the spot, right? So right about there, that's, I don't know, can you see that? Right there is the right distance that it should be. And I'll just check the other end here. Yeah, so that's very difficult to see that fishing line sometimes. I gotta turn it around the other way. Right there. So that's how it should be. Now, just to make it level in the center here, it's got a bunch of leveling legs underneath there. So this one here, like it pushes the wire down. So that means it's got to come up a bit. Hang on, I'll just put the camera down so you can see what's going on. Can you see that? So the leveling leg is underneath here. Can you see that? No. There. This leveling leg is underneath here. So it's just got to come up a tiny bit. Oh, just use my thing here. See if that's high enough. I think that's it. Right about there. So now that's all level. That feels good across there. So I think that's how it's supposed to be. I'm gonna just loosen the bolts here a bit and retighten them. Yeah, that'll come up a bit, so that'll be good. That makes it level across there. That may have reached my level below. I'll just check here. Not that it really matters because I got to set it up when I get it set up where I want to cut it. Well, I want to use it for cutting. That looks like it's pretty close to right. Yeah. Yep, that's good. So when I want to set it up for cutting, I have to readjust the level on this again. But I think that that works pretty good for now. Okay, so that's adjusted. Cool. Now I'll carry on to the next step. I'll pull off all my adjusting gear here. Yeah, there now it's quitting time today. So another half a day. Another day at it tomorrow should do it. See if we can get it to be done. Then I gotta lift it up on my trailer over there, I think. We'll see what happens when I have it finished in here, and then I'll figure out how to move it around. It's funny that the Frontier guys didn't put a lift point in the middle of this thing. Maybe there's one I'm missing somewhere, because I've got it up through here, eh? And I want to be able to lift it onto, it's all backwards anyhow, lift it onto the things there. I think, oh, who knows? Who knows what you got to do? Anyway, but it'd be nice if there was a lift point in the center of this, so that it'd be equal gravity. I guess I could likely put one in somehow or other. I might do that. We'll see. Don't know if I would get in the way of anything there. Anyway, I've got it so it's secure for the night on the chain and on that board there, so it won't drop down and sit in the dirt like it was doing a while ago. Anyhow, there. Okay, that's enough for today, right? That'll be another day at a different project here. Tomorrow there might be more parts for the Volkswagen come, so if I get this done tomorrow, then I'll go back on the Volkswagen. Okay, bye. Yeah, so last night I got the first of these two. That's like the track that goes on the track system there for rolling it. And it's 14 feet long from end to end here, and that'll just fit on my trailer. So I don't know whether I'll, well, I got that thing hooked on there. I'll have to find a way to hold on to that whilst I put this stuff on the trailer, maybe. We'll just see. Or this stuff here on the trailer before it gets too heavy to lift. Anyway, that'll be coming up soon. Well, I'll do some more construction here first. Yeah, now the instructions say to lay the thing down like that on a pallet. Says to make sure it's 8 inches off the ground. So that's what I've got for and then these bits here go into it somehow or other. I'll figure that out. I have to loosen all these bolts off just a tad so that it slides in easier. It facilitates an easier job. Okay, that's what I'll do now. Yeah, there now that, I don't know, did I not show you? I forget what I showed you. Anyhow, that's on there. What I did, and what the instructions say, is that you take the motor unit and you lay it down flat on a pallet about 7 inches off the ground. And then just push these bits into there, loosening those screws around there. Did I show you that? I don't remember. Then you lift it up, 2 people or more, lift it up and put it straight, flat, like that, making sure it's not going to roll away on you. And then you start putting this structure on. This is, I forget what they call this, the crane bracket right here. You put that structure on, and then there's some more pieces that go on it. Plus, now I had to, when I lifted it up straight again, like this, I built myself a little stretcher device so that it wouldn't, and I hooked it up in this pole and that pole, and then had the stretcher device so it would pull straight up instead of pulling these poles together, which I don't think would be a good thing to happen. And then when it's all finished, there's a crane point right here. This is a hook point for you can lift it up. I think that's like a center point so that it's balanced right. You can lift it up there and it'll balance. And those bits are somewhere, yeah, right over here. The dog, Buster, he took off with these things, and I found them up on the yard. I had to chase him for half an hour to get them. He was determined that I wouldn't get anything work done today, and so now I put him in the house where he's going to be out of the way and happy. Now, these go on and they create so you can lift it up with a chain, right? Instead of, and move it around fairly easily. Okay, I'll carry on now. So what I can tell from the instructions is that goes on the inside there like that. With this, can you see in there? There's the bearing, and then these 2 bearing holders. They both go on the inside, and then they clamp together from here, I think. Then you can adjust where the shaft sits using the little set screws on the bearings. I didn't show you then, but here. Here's a bearing, like, and it's got a couple of set screws, so it moves along the shaft as far as you want. So first I'll put the bearing holders up there, and then I'll adjust the shaft to where it's supposed to be. Yeah, there we go. That thing's mostly together. What did I show you today? This thing here makes it go up and down, right? And the instructions are pretty good. There's a couple of things that are missing in the instructions. They don't tell you anything about this plate here, which goes right there, and it covers over the shaft underneath there. Then they don't ever tell you to tighten the screws until it's mounted on the track. But I've tightened up all these screws where I can find them. They also, in the instructions, don't say anything about putting bolts in here, there and there, because I don't know why. But I imagine I will put a bolt in there eventually, because they got lots of bolts left over. Anyhow, I'll get that sorted out as time goes by. And there are some finishing touches like the watering system has to be set up and the throttle has to be set up, but I'll wait till it's mounted on the bed before I do that. And then the bed, you have to tighten up all the bolts on the bed there too. But I'm going to take that bed and put it on the trailer over there. So I'm going to bring the trailer over and see if I can mount the bed on there. Okay. Yeah, there I've got it hoisted up, that part. I'll put it on the trailer. Then I'll level up the trailer and I'll level up this, and then I'll put that on there. See how that works out. Huh, how do you like that? Oh, it fits. And it's fairly level. So now I've got to figure out how to get the other part up onto it, and I've got the rail fairly straight, so as far as I can tell the rail is straight. So I think we're good. Now I have to tighten up all these bolts. They're not tightened yet, so they get to be tightened now. And there's bolts here to tighten and stuff like that. So I'll tighten that all down, then I'll see about mounting the motor on it. See how that works out. Yeah, there now I'm near ready to try and mount the motor part, but I put a jack underneath this end of it just to, you wouldn't want it to come flipping over on you, would you? So that'll be a good thing to have there. Now get a chain hooked on that and figure out how to get it up in the air. Yeah, first thing I have to do is turn it around so it's pointing the right way. So I've got to drop it down on my pallet again. Give the tractor to the other side, then I'll be pointing the right way to get it on the trailer. We'll just see how it goes. I'll give you the wide view of it all. There you go. That's the roller.
Yeah, there you go. Wasn't very graceful, but effective, I guess is the right word. Seems to be on the rails and seems to be rolling. That side there is not on the rails over there yet, but I'll get it up on the rails. Now there's a whole bunch of bolts that I should have put in. It doesn't say so in the instructions, of course, but there's a whole bunch of bolts I should have put in to keep the rail from wobbling, right? Anyway, I'll get this side up on the rail, and then I'll put the guards on that hold it to the rail, and then I'll put those bolts in. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, there, I moved it over to the other side of the deck so that it's easier to operate here. Like, you can stand on the ground beside it and operate it. This thing here is supposed to lift up and then click in, but gotta kind of do that. That's okay. We'll get used to that. Now I'll just check and make sure, but I think all the rails are on okay, and it's got the guards on so it can't flip off the rails, and I think we're okay. I think it's all good. Yeah. Okay, well that's all for today, and I'll come back tomorrow and maybe we'll put some, well, get it ready to run. See if it'll actually cut a board sometime. Maybe tomorrow or the next day. Okay, bye for now. Yeah, here I am. I've got the shop dog out here today. So I've got that stuff back into the shop here, into the back, wherever it is, into this big shop. I'll get the rest of the stuff put onto it, leveled up the trailer, and put a wedge underneath, put a jack underneath the back end of it there, so that'll be good. And it goes all along there. So now it's just a matter of getting the last bits of it hooked on, like throttle cable, which should be pretty easy, I think. And then we got to put oil into it, which is like the oil change place is in a really, silly place, but I guess I can't do anything about that. Anyway, what's that, dog? What's that? What do you got there? What is it? Did you find something? Who knows? Might have been a moose. I should open up this and let the air come through it. I'll do that. Maybe the cat's in there, I'll bet. Yeah, so here I am now. I've got the blade on there, right? And then it says to tension it up with this thing here and turn it, right? So you turn it the way it wants to travel. And the way the blade should be just well, it's pretty close to right there, but not quite. It should be just out a bit more this way, so it's tracking in a little bit on me. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, it's pretty close to right there, but I'll just give it a couple more turns here. Coming around pretty close to right. That's the way the picture looks there, hey?
So let's take a look at the other side, see if the other side's right, because I presume that when it leaves the factory, it should track fairly close to right. But both sides have trackers, and they both, yeah, this is pretty close to right also. So then it says to loosen it off and do that procedure again. Now, to adjust the tracking on it, there's this picture here. It says, you know, there's a picture there, but that I don't have anything that looks like that on this machine. But I do believe that this bolt here adjusts the tracking, because it seems to, when I loosen off the tension, then it seems to, yep, whatever I'm trying to say here. When I loosen off the tension on this thing here gets loose too, so it's all part of the whole system. So I believe that's the tracking adjustment there. So you go through this one time, and then you loosen it off. And I'll do that. You can watch and see what I'm doing. If you want. Where am I here? Over here somewhere? Yeah, this thing. So you take this handle and you loosen it off. Loosen it so that there's no tension on the blade, right? Give the blade a couple of spins here. And then that. Then tighten it again. 3, 4, about that much. Spin it around a bunch. So that's just about right there. Seems to come to the same place every time. So I do believe that's where it's going to be, where it wants to be. I imagine after I've run it a bit, it'll become more than obvious. That looks like the picture, so I think we're okay. So then it says to loosen it again. Right, and then tighten it again. Spin it some more. Now it's back a little bit that time, so it's tending to go in a bit on that side. This side is tending a bit in too. So I'd like it to come out a tiny bit. Oot. So it says to adjust that. If the blade tends to move outward, turn the bolt clockwise. If the blade tends inward, turn the adjuster bolt counterclockwise. Okay, so I'll do that. It's this one here, I think. We're going to think it's this one. I'm going to give this half a turn that way, right? You didn't see that, but you gotta believe me. And I'll give this bolt here half a turn. So they're equal amounts. Then turn it. Watch and see what happens. That looks like it's about right. Now, I'll just take you up here. So you see how that blade over there, can you see that blade is just coming out to the, a little bit dim in here, right?
just out at the edge there, the way that is, pointing out from the wheel. Just a bit. This one here is the same. That's the way it is in the picture. That's the picture right there. So that's the same way. So now they say to, once you got that decided that it's right, then you loosen it off, tighten it on, do it again, loosen it off, tighten it up, do it again, loosen it off, tighten it up, and then you're done. As long as it comes back to the same place. So I'll do all that. Yeah, there I've done that. That looks like it's about right. Tracking good. Tracking consistent. Yeah, the way it is in the picture in the book looks the same as that. So now these things here, this is your track adjustment stuff, or track guide. This one here moves back and forth. That one there stays in the same place. So I'll read the book about it and see what the hell I'm supposed to do. But this goes in, right? That goes right there, like that, and this goes through here, like that. And I'll have to do the same for this one. Goes on right there like that, and it goes through here like that. So now the book will tell me how to adjust those things. I'll read the book and I'll come back to you. All right, now the blade's in. These things are adjusted to what they're supposed to be. That one there is not quite right. I'll fix that after a bit. It should be just parallel. See how it's got a bit of an angle to it there? It should be parallel. So I'll make that right. But I'm measuring here the blade from the bunk. And I get, oops, 208 inches there. So now, that's the measurement that should read on here. So you adjust this thing up and down. So it should be 208 right there. Oops, right about there. And then tighten that down. And that'll be absolute distance. The back blade, the red, shows absolute distance above the bunk, and then the second blade will give you these, learn how to run the scales on it. So I'll suck that up and I'll show you. Yeah, so now this is all set here. So this scale here is adjustable up and down, right? So whenever you put a log on, right? Oh, okay, let's pretend there's a log on there, right? And this is where it's starting. And then you want to go down and you want to make 1.5 inch boards. Absolute. You put this on the 3 here. Make the blue mark on the 3. And then when you come to your next, when you finish your first cut, then you drop it down 2 3s, and that makes 1.5 inches of board, which is true here. So from here, like 2.5 to 4.25. So that makes, oh, what's it do? I'll have to do some ciphering on it, figure it all out. Absolutely, like the, if you go to the lumber store and you measure a 2x4, it's 1 3/4, right? So there's, that's 1 3/4 right there. That's a 2x4 size. Is this business here. Then the next one here, like that to be, say we're at 4, right? Is 1 inch. So the next 4 is 1 1/8 of an inch. Absolute. Next 4 is 1 2 1/4 inch.
So, anyway, I guess I'll figure it all out eventually. That 6 scale, 6/4 scale makes it at, this 6 here is at 1.5, right? Give or take a bit. And then this next 6 along is at 3 1/8. So that means it's 1.5 to 3 1/8, 1 3/8 of an inch or something like that, eh? Oh, my fractions are no good here. That's 1.5 inches there plus 1/8. So 1 5/8 inch is in between here and here. I guess I could just measure them with the measuring tape and figure it out, right? What am I doing here? So this one here is 1 inch and a bunch. I'll get a accurate tape and accurate thing and figure them all out. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so did some thinking on it now. So this that's over 3/4, right? So 3/4 scale is over 3/4, but that takes into account the kerf. So the absolute size of the board is going to be 3/4 of an inch. So every time you use that, you get 3/4 of an inch. This one here, 4/4 scale, is every time you use a 4, it's going to be 1 inch board. 6/4 scale, every time you use that, you're going to get a 1.5 inch board. 8/4 scale, that's a 2 inch board. And then 9/8 scale is whatever that is. I don't know for sure. 9/8 of an inch. So that's inch and an eighth for whatever reason it is. Don't know for sure. But 9 and 9 makes 16/8. What's that work out to? 16/8 makes 8 quarters, right? 8 quarters, so that makes 2 inches. So 2 of these makes 2 inches absolute, which would be the same as this 2 of those, right? Okay. Anyway, there you go. Just not very right there. Hang on, we'll get this set up. We're going to do a bit of log cutting here. Watch your toes, Kevin. I'm just going to turn that. Our camera holder wasn't level. Not quite yet. There, camera holder's level now. That's pretty good. That's not a bad shot, right? Okay, so now we got this set up after seizing the motor first time round. We got it to run again. Poured a bunch of WD-40s, about 50 WD-40s down the throat. So this is going to be the first one ever. Here. We got it set up to go. You want to start it? Engage. Engage.
yeah, that's it for this episode. We had a little bit of success there. I hope they could. The last bunch there, I just ran it on fast forward all the way through to get because otherwise it'd be pretty boring, right? So, but it does cut pretty nice boards, and out of that there's a log. I think you saw how big the log was, but here's the next log coming. Is this one right here? So it's only about 8-inch diameter, and 8.5 feet long or 9 feet long, and it makes out of that you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3/4 inch, 6 3/4 inch boards plus a 2-inch board. So I figured out a way to make the last 1-inch 3/4 inch board out of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 boards, and not that much wastage. Here's the bark. So you peel off the bark first and then do the rest. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed it all, and please let me know how you like it, and come on back for more. See you next time. Bye for now. Yeah, so all the snow is gone, and here comes Buster. Up the trail is clear. All the snow seems to be gone from the woods and everywhere, but it's a grim day today. Another grim day. Don't even know what the date is. Sometime in April. Maybe the 19th. Is it 19th? Could be. We'll check it out. I'll put it on a note on top. And so, it wasn't supposed to be raining today. There goes some ducks. But it is raining. So much for accurate weather forecasting. Maybe they did say it was supposed to be kind of grim. Maybe clearing later on today. Maybe not. But here you are. There's the Buster report for the day. Possibly April 19th. Or thereabouts. See you later.